If you're watching this right now, the consumer carbon tax is gone. But what does that mean for your wallet? Here's what we know. On his first day as Prime Minister, Mark Carney signed a directive for the fuel charge to be removed on April 1st. The tax had been tacked on to carbon-emitting products by fuel type in 2024-2025. That amounted to 17.6 cents a liter on gasoline and 15.25 cents per cubic meter on natural gas. Economists say first, people will notice a change at the pumps, though some warn that the price drop may not happen overnight.
Absolutely, yeah. That'll be a big one for me, especially as a high school student, just has to pay for my own gas. So
we'll see what happens. You know how it goes. Summer's coming and then the prices go up because gas is more or something.
Because I noticed it jumped like 20 cents like in a week because it went from like 148 to 158, and that's crazy to me.
The average price of gas has been climbing in recent weeks, according to GasBuddy.com, and it's been a trend across the province too.
This is the time of year we generally do see gas prices actively climbing. The three major reasons why they do that every spring is refinery maintenance. That has to happen before the start of the summer. Maintenance means that refineries aren't able to produce as much gasoline. Also, demand is going up as the temperatures warm up. Canadians are traveling more, so consumption is up. And we've also begun the transition from cheaper winter gasoline, which contains more butane, to more expensive summer gas. It's hard to see all the transparency behind prices, and the very cynical approach is thinking that somebody will take advantage of this.
The province has promised to keep a close eye and make sure the savings are passed on to consumers. Quote, "We do not want the removal of the Liberals' consumer carbon tax to be a phony tax cut, so we will continue to use every tool at our disposal to ensure drivers aren't being gouged at the pumps." As for natural gas, if that's how you heat your home, expect to see some sort of change once your bill starts reflecting your usage beyond April 1st. One economist said the average Alberta family could see a 30% reduction once that change takes effect. For prices at the grocery store, don't expect big changes.
Despite what, the rhetoric around it when inflation was high and people were blaming the carbon tax left, right, and center, you'd sort of expect, well, now I'm going to walk into the grocery store and grapes are going to be half the price that they were yesterday. Absolutely not. The transportation component of that food is very small. And the carbon tax component of that is a small share of the overall transportation cost.
The end of the consumer carbon tax also means the end of carbon tax rebates. These were paid out quarterly, deposited into bank accounts every 3 months. A single Albertan would have gotten $900 in 2024-2025, $1,080 if they lived in rural Alberta. A family of 4 living somewhere like Calgary or Edmonton would have gotten an annual rebate of $1,800, while that same family would have received $2,160 if they lived in a rural area.
And so what we know about emissions is higher income households, higher wealth households use dramatically more than the lowest income households. So you take away the carbon price, you take away the rebate, then that's a net negative for most lower income households and a net positive for most higher income households. The way that I've often explained it to people, like imagine you live in a house with 3 people and you have a swear jar, right? Every time somebody swears, they put coins in the jar. And then at the end of the month, you divide that jar up evenly. And if there's one person in that household who swears a whole lot more than everybody else, they're losing. But when you take away the redistribution, the people who don't swear that much, well, they're not getting that extra little bonus at the end of the month.
So some come out ahead with this change and save more at the pump than the return was worth. Others might see this more as a tank half empty scenario where the lower prices at the pump don't make up for the loss of that carbon tax rebate. Helen Pike, CBC News, Calgary.